When I told my roommate her boyfriend was arrested for assault, she said, "You think I'm going to abandon him just because he has a disease? Assault isn't a disease, Madison," I said, while she stood in our apartment holding hands with Jake, who'd just gotten out on bail that morning for beating up a bartender. Madison rolled her eyes and pulled Jake inside, even though I'd specifically told her he wasn't allowed in our apartment anymore. "You're so ignorant about mental health conditions. Anger management disorder is a real disease." She said this like she was educating me while Jake smirked behind her. Our other roommate Haley came out of her room and immediately backed away seeing Jake. "Madison, why is he here? We voted. He's banned from the apartment." Madison laughed and walked to the couch pulling Jake with her. "You can't discriminate against someone for having a medical condition. That's literally illegal." Jake sat down and put his feet on our coffee table, knocking over Haley's textbooks. "Besides, the charges were dropped." "That was a lie because I checked the court records that morning." "No, they weren't. He has a hearing next Tuesday." Madison waved her hand dismissive. "The bartender provoked him by cutting him off." "That's basically assault on the bartender's part." Jake nodded along. "Exactly, babe. He triggered my condition by refusing to serve me." He looked at me with this threatening smile. "Some people just don't understand invisible disabilities." I pulled out my phone to show Madison the actual police report. "He broke the guy's nose and gave him a concussion. That's not a disability, that's violence." Madison snatched my phone and deleted the file. "Stop spreading ableist propaganda. Would you shame someone for having diabetes?" Haley finally spoke up. "Madison, he also has a restraining order from his ex-girlfriend." Madison's face lit up like this proved her point. "See? Another woman who couldn't handle dating someone with a medical condition. The stigma is disgusting." Jake leaned back, spreading out more. "My ex was ableist too. She called the cops just because I had an episode." Madison rubbed his arm, sympathetic. "People don't understand that violence is just a symptom like sneezing or coughing." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. He pushed his ex down a flight of stairs. Madison stood up, angry now. "He didn't mean to. His condition makes him lose control sometimes." She went to the kitchen and started making Jake food with our groceries. "You wouldn't blame someone with Tourette's for cursing, would you?" Jake followed her and opened our fridge, taking Haley's labeled lunch. "This looks good." He started eating it straight from the container. "Jake, that's mine," Haley said, but he ignored her. Madison handed him more of our food. "He needs to keep his blood sugar stable. It helps with his episodes." She glared at us. "If you two were supportive roommates, you'd understand." That's when our neighbor, Mrs. Coleman, knocked on the door. She was 75 and lived alone next door. I opened it and she looked terrified. "Is that man back? The one who was yelling last week?" Before I could answer, Jake appeared behind me. "You got a problem, lady?" Mrs. Coleman stepped back. "Please don't let him near my apartment. I'm scared." Madison pushed past me. "How dare you discriminate against him? He has a medical condition." Mrs. Coleman looked confused. "Medical condition? He threatened to break my door down because my TV was too loud at 4 p.m. Madison got in her face. "That's a symptom of his sensitivity disorder. Loud noises trigger him." Jake smiled at Mrs. Coleman in a way that made her back up more. "Maybe you should be more considerate of people with disabilities." Mrs. Coleman hurried back to her apartment and I heard her deadbolt lock. Madison turned on me. "Look what you've done. You've turned the whole building against him." She went back inside and started pulling my stuff off the wall. "We need to make this a safe space for Jake." She threw my photos in a box. "These might trigger his episodes." Haley grabbed her purse. "I'm staying at my boyfriend's tonight. This is insane." Madison blocked her path. "You're really going to abandon us because Jake has a disease? What if he had cancer?" Haley pushed past her. "Cancer doesn't give people black eyes, Madison." After she left, Madison got worse. "Jake's moving in. He needs a supportive environment for his recovery." I laughed, but it wasn't funny. "Recovery from what? He's not sick, he's violent." Jake stood up fast and his fist clenched. "You calling me violent?" Madison jumped between us. "Don't trigger him. You know what happens when his condition flares up." She actually said this like it was my fault if he hit me. "If he touches me, I'm calling the cops." Jake was getting closer to me. "Your roommate seems pretty mad already. Maybe she needs medication." Madison gasped, excited. "You're right, baby. She probably has the same condition but undiagnosed." She looked at me with fake concern. "Your anger about Jake is actually a symptom. You should get tested." That's when our landlord Rick walked in. I'd texted him earlier and he'd used his key. "Jake Hoffman, you're not on the lease and you're not welcome here." Full story on channel. Link below.